Hi there, welcome to Chickfoodtv. I'm Patty Malcolm, and today I'm going to show you how I make a mini vegan spinach quiche. So let's get started with the ingredients you need. You need garbanzo flour, nutritional yeast, smoked paprika, a pinch of thyme, olive oil, some plum vinegar, garlic powder, some sea salt, some shallots minced, some spinach, and I use frozen. Just make sure you drain all the water out of it. Sliced tomatoes, these are Roma tomatoes, and there's about 12 slices. Your favorite vegan cheese, I really like Follow Your Heart. Vegan butter, black pepper, and then we have smoked sea salt, and this is completely optional. So you can choose to use that if you want to or not. Then we have the juice of 1 can of garbanzo beans. We're gonna make some aquafaba, and we're gonna put some cream tartar in there, and we're going to blend it up till it becomes a really foamy substance that's gonna go into the batter to make it nice and light and fluffy and moist. Then we also have phyllo dough, and this I'm gonna cut into squares, and it's gonna be like the pie crust for your quiche. So let's get into it. Let's get started. First of all, I'm gonna turn on the stove and I'm going to start cooking the shallots. So I'm gonna put in a little bit of a neutral oil. So I'm gonna turn on the stove. I've got grapeseed oil in there. I'm just gonna turn it on low, and I'm gonna put my shallots in. And we're just gonna let those start to kind of sweat a bit on low heat while we combine all of our other ingredients. So in a large bowl, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna combine everything. So there's our chickpea flour, our nutritional yeast, our smoked paprika, come on, our thyme. I'm gonna do the dry ingredients first. This is our garlic powder, the sea salt, and then I'm gonna go to the plum vinegar, the olive oil, and I'm gonna put just a pinch of smoked sea salt in there. This is really strong. I like it to have just a little bit of smoky flavor, a little bit more. And that's totally optional if you're not into the smoky flavor. But if you are, this stuff is so good. And I get it at Amazon. So let's put our spinach. You know what? I'm gonna wait for that. I'm gonna add the water, which I didn't mention in the ingredients, but you do need water. And I'm gonna start to whisk it now before I put the spinach in. And this is about the consistency you want. Just get it blended really well here. I'm gonna go and add the spinach. Let's see how my onions are doing here. Looking good. Okay, so the tomatoes, we're gonna end up putting that on top of the little mini quiches. The cheese, I usually do half in now, and then I put a little bit later while I'm building the actual quiches. Oh my gosh, this already smells so good. It's gonna be so delicious. So I'm gonna put this aside, and we're gonna start making our aquafaba. So you only actually need 3 tablespoons of it, but for the blender, for the blade to reach it, you're gonna need to use the whole can. So I'm gonna get my cream tartar here. This aquafaba is so cool. I just recently started working with it, and I'm absolutely loving what it does for muffins and these quiches. I used to make these quiches without it, and they were much more dense. This makes them much more moist, kind of more quiche-like, obviously. Let's get started with the blending. And I should have wore an apron. Look at it foaming up. It's so cool. And you want it to build a really nice foam. So it takes about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, that looks good. And I'm going to bring back my other ingredients. And I'm going to take and add 3 tablespoons. And then mix those in. You want to mix it really well. Okay, so now that that's all mixed together, I'm going to set it aside again. Let that kind of live together for a little bit, and we're going to get our phyllo dough ready. So this is 4 sheets, and we're going to go ahead and score them with a pizza cutter after we put some butter on them. And this is what's going to make your pie crust for your quiche. This is such a fun recipe. I just love it because it's cute. It makes a nice presentation, and it's just the perfect size if you're having people over, you're going to a baby shower, an Easter snack, you know, it's just a fun recipe. You know, I did a little thick there. I'm just gonna go like that and kind of let it all soak through. Just put a little bit more because I don't want it to be too saturated. Looks good. Set that aside. Yeah, I got that a little buttery, but that's okay. It'll just taste better, right? So we're gonna score it so that we have nice little squares. One a little small, and then down the middle here. So I've got a muffin pan here, and I've already lightly greased it with coconut oil. Just use whatever oil that you want. And I'm gonna take and start putting these into the tin. You're gonna layer them so they have this cute little wings that come out. Okay, so we've just about got our little cups filled up here. Just finishing with the phyllo dough. And then we're gonna fill them. Cute. This fun recipe. Let's check our dough here. Still looks good. I'm just gonna take the onions that I cooked earlier and I'm gonna add those. Well, not onions actually, shallots. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix in my shallots, and I'm gonna actually put my tomatoes on and start getting those. I like to pre-cook them just a little bit so they're a little softer, and then when they cook in the oven with the cups, they kind of take on a sun-dried tomato flavor. And I've tried to do it just cooking it in the actual oven, but it just works better for some reason just doing it on the stovetop first. So let's get that on, and we're gonna just turn that down to low. Okay, so let's start filling up our little phyllo cups here. I like to put 1 spoonful in first, just to kind of set up the dough on the bottom. You can hear the tomatoes starting to cook, that's awesome. And then I'm gonna put a little layer of cheese in there. And you get this little nice in the middle surprise of cheese, a little extra decadence. You know what, I'm going to put that down for a second. I'm gonna put a little bit of pepper on my tomatoes there. Come back into it. This is such a fun little recipe. You're gonna have so much fun with it, and people are really gonna love it. Okay, that looks good. Let's put a little bit of layer of cheese in there. Okay, so we got that there. I'm just gonna check my tomatoes really quick and see if I need to flip them. Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick flip with the tomatoes. And don't do what I'm doing. Well, you can if you want, using my hands on a hot pan. Those are already just about ready to go on the muffins, on the quiches. Okay, Now let's finish filling up our little cups. This part can be a little bit messy because I miss them a lot. I miss the filling the cups. And you want to fill them up almost right to the edge. When they cook, they're going to plump up a little bit more. But we're going to put our tomatoes on top, which makes them really pretty. And these measurements make exactly enough for 12 mini quiches. I actually filled a couple a little too full. Let's kind of make those fit. Okie dokie. So that looks good. Now, the last touch before we put them into the oven, let's turn our little tomatoes off here. So I'm just gonna take and spoon those off and stick them right there on top of each of the quiches. Come here. Okay, so I got the last tomato on top here, and I'm just gonna take this little toothpick thing that I use for like sandwiches or hors d'oeuvres, and I'm going to go and press down all the tomatoes and make sure that the dough is coming through, because you want them to kind of cook into the quiche. And it looks like they're already soaking in, so that's good. Squish down, squish. Oh, some of the little sides have fallen into the batter, and that's okay. It's still gonna be really pretty. Okay, that looks really great. I've preheated my oven to 400, and I'm gonna pop these in for 30 minutes, and I'll check them about 15 minutes in, see how they're doing. Maybe turn the pan, give it a good turn once. And that's it. So we'll be back. I'm gonna tidy up here, and we'll be back in 30 minutes. I'm gonna let them cool for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll try one. We'll take them out. So let's put it in the oven. Hi there, so we're back. They turned out amazing. They cooked for 30 minutes, and then I let them cool for about 15 minutes, and I started taking them out of the pan. And this is what they look like plated. Isn't that beautiful? I want to share one thing with you. Sometimes if it overflows the dough over outside of the rim, it's kind of tricky to get them out. And you just take a butter knife and go around the edges until you get it loosened, and then you can pop it out just like that. So that's easy to do. Just something, just a little hint for you, or a little tip, I guess I should say. Because, and if you make sure to oil the pan well, they should pop out really easily, but sometimes they don't. So that's a little option. So there you have it. These are our mini little spinach quiches. There's no eggs in here whatsoever. They're vegan, and they're absolutely delicious. And before I take a bite of this cutie, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will subscribe, and if you like this video, hit like, and check me out at my website at chickfoodtv.com. I have a lot of recipes there that I do not make videos for YouTube, and please subscribe there as well. And as always, check me out on social media too at Chickfoodtv. So here we go. Until next time, see ya. It's delicious, guys. Look at that. You know you want some.